Hey everyone, so in this video we're going to be covering off my results of running 240 relic scrolls. Yep, other than the fact that I'm pretty much brain dead after the weekend from doing this, they were profitable for me and we'll go into details on how. But before I go into any of that, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you are new to the channel, even if you aren't new to the channel, give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Let me know how you feel about the video. There are other reasons for this. YouTube really likes interaction, so just by doing this simple task of thumbs up or thumbs down is really going to help the channel to continue to grow. So please do that, and as always, leave any comments in the comment section. If you want me to look at anything particular in game or cover any specific topic, go ahead and let me know. But anyway, let's have a look at Relic Fragment. So for those of you that don't already know, I posted something on my communities tab on Wednesday when the patch hit, saying that today's the day to start paying attention to the central marketplace and looking for ways to make money. As somebody's already commented on, Valkyrie got released, and buying up longswords and then relisting or enhancing them to relist them was a really profitable niche that you could take advantage of during that first day, where a lot of people were looking to push not only the gear on the Valk, but were looking for something relatively cheap and effective to be able to level the class and benefit from the leveling event currently going on. Now there were some other things as well, changes to the armor pieces, in particular things like the Heave and Grunil, which will no longer be for sale outside of Amnesty on vendors. This is going to start to help that price creep up on those pieces and make them a little bit more profitable, not only to farm but also to enhance. Now there were other things that you could have done on the marketplace. I'm not going to dive into all of them, but one of the things that you may or may not have noticed is that there was a very big shift up and then down again on both the price of memory fragments and also relic shards. And the reason for this is the fishing event that came into the game. This increases the chance to drop relics by fishing and is going to be the reason why these prices are fluctuating through the life of this event. Now I've covered this relic fragment farming topic before in a video, and it's definitely something that's profitable at various times within the game. Now to make the most out of this, you do have to pay attention to when the market price is changing and do a little bit of maths on the side. So what I'm going to do in a moment is I'm going to show you the spreadsheet that I used to check the profitability and also the results of a couple of runs that I did over the weekend. In total I did 240 relics, so 6 runs of 40 scrolls. That is a combination of combining 200 relic shards together to make the 40 scrolls, so you can do the maths yourself. There was an awful lot of relics that I had to buy. Now to stay on top of this throughout the week while I was at work and throughout the weekend while I was away from the game, I was using the BDO companion app. If you don't already have it, go to the app stores on your phone and make sure you download that, connect it to your account, and basically you can list and buy things on the central marketplace from your phone. This, coupled with Remote Play, which again is another app for the PS4 that allows me to access my character in game, allowed me to buy up all of the memory fragment, or the relic shard, sorry, for a certain price. And also while I was doing that, I was able to stay on top of the other activities that I was doing in game, which most notably was the alchemy on my shies to start collecting that powder that is desperately needed for me to move into crafting alchemy stones. So anyway, let's take a look at some of the results from these runs, and also I'll play in the background proof of these, so some of the openings as well that I was doing after the runs. So here we go, let's bring the spreadsheet up on screen and we'll switch over to the first run and the end results from the first run as well. Now I don't currently have a link to this spreadsheet, but if enough people request it in the comment section, I will post a link to all of my spreadsheets that I use so that you can take advantage of them too. But essentially this is a really simple, quick average calculator that I've done for multiple runs to get a feel for, on average, what I need to be buying relics for and selling memory fragments for in order to make this profitable. So you can pretty much ignore the numbers in this other than the green column. The relic prices were bought at 955,000 and the memory fragments were then sold for 1.3 million, or a little bit over that, with Blackstone armors being sold for 171,000 per stone. And the reason we use the Blackstone armors is because they are the cheapest option out of armor and weapon from the hunter seals. So over the course of the first 4 runs, I averaged 209 memory fragments, 142 Blackstone armors, and that was basing each run off 40 scrolls. And to make 40 scrolls, you need to buy 200 relics or farm them, however you want to do that. And for this run, it took around 1 hour and 10 minutes to complete. and the table does factor in the sales tax. So the total after tax, including the 3 million that I made roughly from trash drops and from selling the junk from the actual bundles, I came out with 64 million in profit. So for a little over an hour, we're talking about 64 million. Now the problem with this is that it fluctuates heavily based off the market buy and sale price if you're not farming the relics yourself. If you're farming the relics yourself, which would take forever to do, then factor in how much you value your time, and completely you would zero out the relic price on the central marketplace, and that would give you a rough idea of how much you're making. But this is the calculator that I use, and I base everything pretty much off averages. So the next table I'm going to show you is the average profit and loss for the relic fragment runs that I did. Each one of them is based off 40 stones. Each one of them I timed to take anywhere between sort of 58 minutes to an hour and 10 minutes, depending on how quick I killed things, if I got CC'd, if I was paying attention to it, and everything else. It is worth noting as well that if you have your main character or a character that you're doing this with as a gatherer, you can actually carry magic gathering tools on you and kill the deer around the relic spawn spot. What you'll find is that if you're just doing this passively, especially if you've got a Camosilvia buff up, you won't run out of energy, and you'll actually end up making a good bit of silver from the sharps and hards as well, either using them yourself on your gear or ultimately selling them on EU. At the moment they're currently selling at max price, so it's definitely worthwhile doing and would bump the profit per hour up considerably. But let's take a look at the 6 runs that I did and how this worked out, and why I jumped on this at the start once the servers went back up and I noticed that the prices were about to fluctuate really heavily. So each run has its own column, but ultimately what you want to look at is the bottom, where I made 530 million over the weekend just from running relics. Now this is mind-numbingly boring. It's incredibly boring. However, if you want to make it even more profitable, bearing in mind that on average you will end up with a 50% drop rate of memory fragments, that means that on average running 40 scrolls will get you 20 just from the kills alone. Taking a full party, you can increase the yield and help your friends out just by grabbing them. If they're comfortable with sitting through you through all of these kills, everybody can benefit from it, either make passive 20 million roughly for being there for an hour, or they can obviously use the memory fragments to enhance gear. But anyway, the profit and loss, that's the main thing. That's why everybody's here and looking at this video, and pretty much why everybody is watching this as far as you are. If you haven't already skipped ahead, then thank you very much for watching the entire video and supporting the channel. If you have skipped ahead, then shame on you. But anyway, let's take a look. So the first run when I noticed this was going to be profitable was when I picked up the relic prices at 950,000 and I noticed that memory fragments had shifted up to 1.5 million. This managed to net me a great 95 million for that first hour. Now all the way through that first hour, while I was doing those relics, I was also buying up my second lot of relics. Because I was so quick at buying these up and liquidating all the silver I could, knowing full well that the prices were going to continue to climb, but relics would also climb alongside that, I wanted to benefit from this as quickly as I possibly could. And that had netted me 102 million for the second hour, 105 for the third, and it peaked at 116 for that final third hour before the prices started to shift again. Now the problem with the marketplace, and I don't want to say this to insult people, but it is player driven and people are morons. Everybody is undercutting everybody to try and get a quick sale. What this does is inherently brings things down and makes them less profitable. We've seen it in accessories with the addition of the fine accessory boxes and everybody trying to shift things as quick as they can. The same thing can be said for memory fragments. What I failed to factor in is the fact that we were about to all get 20 memory fragments completely free because of an event. Now I say I failed to factor that in. Technically I never could have guessed that they were going to put a coupon code out that would give us 20 memory fragments. However, in hindsight, I should have thought that PA would do something like that because they always seem to ruin my marketplace niches by throwing out events. And as you can see, because of that, memory fragments started to drop down in price. Now I was lucky that I managed to get out when I did, and I picked up my last batch at 1.22 million of relic fragments and caught the market just as it was dipping below the 1.5 million for the memory fragment resale. So I came out with 45 million, which was insignificant compared to the amount of time that I just effectively put in at this point in time. Thankfully it did recover ever so slightly, because the last run that I managed to do, I picked up 9.5 or 9 155,000 per relic, and the memory fragments at this moment in time are selling for around 1.3 million, which means it is profitable at around 64 million a run depending on your RNG. Ultimately though, it's nowhere near that 100 million an hour that I was hoping I'd be making. I was so confident that memory fragments were going to shoot up to around 2 million and this was going to be an absolute goldmine that I spent way too much time paying attention to the market over the weekend, hoping it was going to fluctuate. However, we're still in a state where this is semi-profitable depending on how cheap you can get your relics from and depending on how quick you sell your memory fragments. However, one thing I will keep pointing out to people is, like I've said already, people are dumb. The marketplace is not something where you want to undercut people on, because undercutting people can leave a lasting drop on the cost of items. What you want to aim to do is sell your memory fragments or sell your relics for a price that you feel they are worth. And after seeing this spreadsheet and seeing this video, I'm hoping that you feel that they are valued a lot more than what they're currently at. On average on PC, relics are selling for between 1 and 2 million, usually closer to the 2 million point, and memory fragments are almost always around 2 million as well, which makes them inherently more profitable. That being said, this video just serves to point out the key thing when it comes to paying attention to the marketplace. There are always niches there. You can always make silver if you pay attention to what is shifting and what's changing in the game. I'm going to get back to doing my patch notes videos on every patch day so that people are a little bit more aware on what is being released without having to go ahead and dig through the patch notes themselves. And I'll start pointing out some of the key things that I feel will be shifting and changing the marketplace. Anyway guys, this is another update for my Fresh Start series. I hope that you're still following along with the series and still enjoying it. I hope that you're enjoying the fact that I am sharing ways that I am making money. I'm not hiding this kind of stuff from you, and I am pointing out all the key things that I am doing to make money and plan to be doing in the future. As I said from the very start, there will likely be a delay where I milk things for everything that I possibly can before I share them with people and others start to use them as well. I don't think that everybody's going to jump on this bandwagon and start running relics because it's just not as profitable as it is at other times. However, it will serve to hopefully remind you to keep checking the marketplace, keep looking for those little bits of gaps that you can make money from, and hopefully you'll be able to rinse the market for as much silver as you can, prey on the weak, and get as strong as you can in this game. Anyway, thanks for watching. As always, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Like I said at the start, please thumbs up or thumbs down this video if you did or didn't like it. All of the interaction helps to grow the channel, and I'll catch you in the next update.